So let's kind of follow this down with some numbers, and let's use some big numbers so you can kind of see it work a little bit more powerfully. So let's say that our P was 100 and our Q was 120. Then the GCD of 100 and 120 would be 20. And so I could write P as the GCF, which is 20 times 5, and then I could write Q as 20 times 6. And notice that 5 and 6 don't have any common factors, because that was the whole point of the greatest common factor, was to factor out all the factors that they have the same, right? So, excellent. So our G is 20, so maybe I should write G is 20 somewhere. And okay, so now if we have the LCM of P and Q, so the LCM of 100 and 120 is the LCM of 20 times 5 and 20 times 6. And when I create that LCM, I'm taking the 20, and I'm taking the 5, and I'm taking the 6. So I'm taking that and that and that. So you can look back at some of the videos of creating an LCM, taking all the factors, every single factor that will cover both of those. So I need a 20, and I need a 5. And when I do this one, I've already got the 20, but I'll need the 6. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so now when we go to P plus Q, I'm going to add the 100 and the 120, but maybe I'll add it in this form, right? The P was 20 times 5, and the Q was 20 times 6. So when you factor out that GCF, I guess I should have written this under there, but so when I factor out that 20, I'm getting 20 times 5 plus 6. And so you can see that what I have left over was the A and the B, and that's 11, and I can't, well, it doesn't matter, but I can't pull out any other factors from those two, because A and B are relatively prime, so they don't have any other factors that I can pull out. Okay, so now when I get down to here, the GCD of 20 times 5 plus 6 and 20 times 5 times 6, when I make that greatest common factor, the factors that these guys have in common are the 20, and they don't have a 5 in common, and they don't have a 6 in common, and the 5 and 6 can't be taken out of there because A and B were relatively prime, so I couldn't pull out a 5 from there if I wanted to, because of this idea that A and B are relatively prime. So that 20 is what gets shuffled out as your GCF, your GCD, same thing, and that's where we wanted to go. Yeah, clear as mud? Okay. So play with it, like factor trees, and you get a better understanding of greatest common divisors and least common multiples when you play with them. So enjoy.